When I was a little girl, I filled notebooks with details of my life. But as I got older, as life became more complicated, I lost the words to explain how I felt. And on November 2nd, 2015, my writing went silent. I've struggled to write this. I have struggled to do this project. Up until yesterday, I stared at the cursor on my screen. I would think, just tell them, Lizzie. Tell them what it felt like. Tell them how the rain looked as it hit your windshield, sheets of it, so loud you couldn't even hear the radio. Write about losing control, about the sensation of flipping over the guardrail. Write about how your last thought before you hit the ground was, so this is how it ends. Write about how Renee Montagne's voice was still playing out of the radio as the sirens raced towards you. As I sat staring at the blank screen, I thought, tell them what it felt like to wear a neck brace for 2 weeks when you probably only needed it for 1. But you wanted everyone to see that you were injured. You wanted everybody to approach you with caution. But it's hard. It's hard to talk about the things that hurt us. And it's even harder to figure out what to do after the hurt. How do you heal? What do you do? I've still got questions, but this story, this is my attempt to answer them. Step 1. I got a cat. In a New Year's Eve impulse buy, I bought a kitten so big he was on sale. Gus gallops around my apartment. He chews cables, knocks over dishes, and eats more food than a small pony. But taking care of him reminds me to take care of me. Step 2. I ran. At first, I ran to forget, pounded through miles until my brain stopped replaying the accident. I ran through Asilomar and up to Veterans Park. In Oregon, I ran through the Douglas fir trees. But then I realized I was running to remember I had control over my body, which I felt like I'd lost in the accident. I'm not a fast runner, but running has always made me feel strong. Step 3. I started growing a garden. Little herbs at first in my apartment, then a garden plot with a friend on campus. I grew kale, lettuce, carrots, and bok choy. I watched in delight as the sprouts pushed through the dirt. I couldn't stop myself from taking pictures to document their growth. I touched their tiny leaves and watered them every day. Watching the plants grow made me marvel at how time passes and how every day the shoots stood taller, reaching for the sun. Step 4. I danced with my friends. In the kitchen, on the beach, on hikes at Point Lobos, we danced and we laughed. We projected YouTube tutorials and tried to teach ourselves new moves. Sometimes we went out and danced in dimly lit bars on Alvarado Street, but mostly it was at our houses. It was about forgetting what weighed us down and staying present in the moment, together. That was it. Those are my answers. Pets, plants, and movement. But healing isn't a glamorous, perfect process. For example, I killed most of the plants I grew at home because I forgot to water them. I let all of my arugula go to seed. Gus is great, so don't worry about him. He's as fat as ever. But I still have flashbacks of the accident, and sometimes in cars, I grab onto the person next to me like an anchor in a storm. The difference is now, I seek little moments of joy to help me through the rough sea. I try to surround myself with beautiful, bright, living things as a reminder. I survived.